Are you guys ready for part number 3 of the N-scale layout for 2023? I know I'm ready for this thing to be over. Stick around. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Paul Knapp coming to you once again from the Man Cave, and as you can see, we are almost done with the bottom half and getting ready to start the top. So let me give you a little close-up of this and what I've done over the past week. So starting from the front side, the steel mill is all planted in place. The city streets are finished, of course with the exception of all the flocking. That is just paint, and all the streets are just paint. They're not painted lines yet, but everything is in place. Of course, nothing is lit this year. That was not my objective for this year. I will have lights on it next year, and I have a way I'm going to do that and embed it in the foam like I do dioramas. I'll give you a little wider version here. So everything is in place, and just doing some touch-up paint, as you can see, around certain buildings that I didn't go close enough on green or the black streets. My freight station area. Again, this is going to be dead track all around here. Of course, these are the rich houses with the swimming pools and the neighborhood pool. And again, did some touch-up paint just a little while ago, so thought I'd start this video off with showing you what has been completed since part number 2. And then we're going to go ahead and show you what I'm doing with part 3. There's a close-up view of the city park, which is actually almost exact to the Johnstown City Park where I grew up. Matter of fact, that's the Glosser Brothers building right across the street, same color. The large city building right there. This would probably be the Tribune Democrat right there, I believe. Had a big cathedral right across the street, had the post office caddy corner. Bunch of row houses. I have another house that I purchased online, waiting for that to come in. That'll fill in that gap. This is my buddy Vince Tomac. He drives a truck, so I thought I'd make him his own trucking plant. So that's the, I don't know if you can read that, Vince Tomac Trucking. And here is the steel mill area on this side. Again, it goes with the backdrop. I plan on planting bushes or trees in the background there to kind of hide that a bit. And did buy a couple pieces of flex track just to, even though this isn't going to be wired, it's going to be dead track, I can put trains on that, set them there. Still haven't run a train around the track yet, so that's always fun to see if the first train of the year can actually make it around the loop. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing with this top part. Right here are all the remaining structures that I have to put on these 2 top pieces. Now these top pieces are 3 foot wide and 6 foot long, each of them. And I did round the corners as I showed earlier in part 1. So I'm going to have 2 separate dioramas, I guess you could say, layouts on each side. Each one is going to have their own train going around. So there'll be 2 trains on top. This front section, I'm going to have more of the what I call fun stuff, which is going to be the circus, the drive-in movie theater, probably some of these more modern structures that I have. And the back side is going to have the Conrail area, probably the lumber yard, and I may just break out the Army base or Navy base if I can find some more room up there. So we're going to see that. We're going to work on this first part here, and I have that in the living room already set up. Let me show you how I'm putting the lights on it. So here is one of the 3 foot wide by 6 foot long boards. I did put 3 furring strips because it was bowing a little bit with that MDF board. And as you can see here, I just took a simple string of Christmas lights. I think they were 27 feet long, which was perfect. It went around twice. They are warm white, not LED. They are LEDs, but they are warm light, not the real bright stuff. So I think that'll look good at night. And then I just left the plugs here so I can plug them into each other, and then just run one cord down through the center of the layout. So that's where I am now. I'm going to flip this board over, kind of plan a track plan, and start setting up my structures to see what fits. Okay, I failed to mention at the beginning of this video, it is November 15th. So if you're tracking along with parts 1 and parts 2, part 3 is starting off November 15th, and I put the lights underneath this, so now I flipped it over. Again, just a simple oval, but I did put 2 switches in here, and all I'm going to do is stage probably the circus train on that one or that one. Just enough that I can stage it so people will see it. I'll have the circus probably towards the front and everything else towards the rear. The backdrop here will have just simple mountains on it, so I'll probably put most of my houses along that. And that's what we're looking at. So I'm going to trace this like I did the other one, pull it back off, take it back out in the garage, start putting extra foam on, you know, the edges so the trains don't fall off. Probably going to glue some mountain sides on each side of that. Definitely going to raise the back here a little bit, and then yeah, start planning where all the structures are going to be. Okay, so here we are, all traced and ready for some more mountains, edges, and gluing that down and start flocking. So you can see here I've taken a lot of the extra foam pieces that I had from the bottom area, and I'm just using these as sort of, can't even call them mountains, little hills, little mounds, I guess. Just carving them and putting them in. I know where the track is going to be, so I can just fit anything anywhere I want it. It's not really planned, it's just however it falls together. Again, these are to one, buffer the train, so if it did fall off the edge, it won't fall off the track, the layout itself. And 2, I have them to look like a elevation, so everything's not totally flat. This whole side here will be up against the backdrop, and I have that raised about 1 inch, so I can put a row of houses on there. And then down in the valley, on the flat area, will be the circus, and then anything else I can fit in on there. So really I'm just going to have these 2 spurs, probably have some businesses on those, and then the oval track going around. So again, very simple. I know you professional end scalers are just rolling your eyes at this, but this is not how I would do it if I was putting up a permanent track. Obviously, this is something I just put up for Christmas, and this is even going to kill you end scalers, but I let the kids run my trains. Can you believe that? Oh my God. Now here to me is the funnest part, but yet the hardest part is placing everything to kind of make it flow. Now normally I don't think I would set it up this way for a circus. However, you need to remember people are walking around the outside and only seeing the edges. They don't see really the middle. So if I had all the stuff turned the way it should to be like a circus, you know, everything be facing the middle and the fairground, whatever. This is what people would see, the backside of everything. So you got to kind of remember when you're doing this, it's like, you know, I did so much detail on this stuff. Do I really want it facing the center where nobody's going to see it? I mean, here's dancing horses and stuff. I mean, there's no way a little kid would see that if I had it in the center and had, you know, the tents going around it. So this is, like I said, the hardest part, but it's still fun. So now I'm placing these. These are my 5 largest parts to the circus, or 6. And after that, I'm going to start working on the house area, and then see what small businesses I can fit on the track. So once I get an idea where I want all the buildings and structures to go, I will then trace all these. And I think I like this row of houses here on the hill. That turned out pretty good. We got the nursery here. We have the drive-in movie theater. We have the country club, of course, with the basketball courts and tennis court out back. A couple newer homes. And then the circus area. So I think this turned out pretty good. Again, real basic. But I got to get it done before Christmas, so here we go. I'm going to trace these, take them all off, paint it outside probably, and then again, you got to leave leeway for not just the train but a road here to make it look like this flow. So we're going to see how this turns out. It is now 4 p.m. on 19 November. It is my daughter's birthday. Celebrated that with her this morning, and I am calling this the end of part 3, and I will not make another video until the final one closer to Christmas. So what you're seeing here is the last installation. I have basically completed everything that I wanted to. You can see I put the tree line in back behind the 3 mainline railroads, and I've added the 2 spaceships. You can see those. Got the crop circles in there. So I rearranged a couple little things, added a few things. Got a little rock slide here going on. So this is going to be my final installation. Oh, and by the way, I decided to go with the Army Navy base on this top section here. So I'm leaving out the Conrail and the lumber yard, which just would not fit on here. So the state prison has now become the brig. So that's gonna be part of the base. And again, really just final stuff I have to do is go around and do final touches. Again, right now, this is just green paint. Eventually it'll all look like this, which is the green grass blend that I want to use almost everywhere. Also, I'll put some trees in, some bushes like this. I got a little dry creek bed here. So hopefully all of this will look more like this closer to Christmas, but I don't want to waste a part 4, part 5 showing you all that. We're just going to wait and show it to you at Christmas. So hopefully this gave everybody some ideas if you're making your own end scale and just throwing something together quick at Christmas. I decided to, as you can see here, go with the lights underneath the track as opposed to lighting up all the houses for right now. And that gives it enough light that it shines down. I'm going to tack these up so you don't see them, but it gives it enough light so it shines down and people can pick out the miniature things that are going on here. So I will get more in depth with the seek and finds that I have, but for right now, I'm calling this the end of part 3, and I will see everybody closer to Christmas. I am going to have this garage open from December 18th through the 1st of January, and hopefully I'll get some good videos of kids coming in and checking out the trains as well as their parents. So hopefully everybody enjoyed this, and stay tuned for the Christmas special. Thanks for watching.